everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here. I know it's been a while. I am so sorry, but I actually took a little bit of a break. But let's get back to these videos. So I am here with episode 7 of our Simplicity series. So in our previous episodes, we've just used a paper pad and a pair of scissors, pencil, and a ruler. So the paper pads, a lot of them that I do have are from Michaels. Usually they're top 5. I really like the papers. Sometimes they're double-sided. Sometimes they're single-sided. I do have many more. I mean, I have the Lawn Fawn, the Primas, and I just love paper pads. It's a little bit of an obsession. It's a lot of an obsession. Let's be honest. So, and a lot of times, when it comes to the episodes that we did before, the paper pads, they have these borders or they have squares with sentiments already on them. Now, I have a lot, and that's going to be our next episode, number 8, where a paper pad doesn't have the borders. It doesn't have those squares or tags already created with a sentiment. So how do you keep card making simple? Still need a paper pad, a pencil. I'm looking for a ruler. I finally find my favorite ruler. I love this ruler. I got it at the dollar store. And a pair of scissors. Now, there's a couple things that you can do if the paper pad doesn't have sentiments. You can write your own sentiments. I showed that in a previous episode. You can also print your own. You can print them down on text cardstock, or you can have a sentiment stamp set. So to keep it simple, you just need also a paper trimmer. So the things that I'm showing are just little things that you can get. A black and a brown ink pad. Now you can go with the archival ink. That comes in a jet black and a potting soil brown or a sepia. And then just sentiment stamp sets. Now, when you look at this, like this Clearly Besotted is wonderful. It has almost every holiday or celebration. It has graduation. It has Easter. It has new job. It has new baby. And then you want one, you could get a thank you, or I like to send happy thoughts, but this one has thinking of you, you did it, get well, so sorry for your loss. And those are really the only 2 packs of sentiments that you need. So with the sentiments on the left of the screen, your pencil, your ruler, your ink pad, and of course you need an acrylic block. Okay, but you can get those, even, believe it or not, at the dollar store or for $1 at your local craft store, so you don't have to have the big expensive ones. So again, those are the only items that we're going to be using going forward in our Simplicity series. We can make beautiful cards, and it does not have to break our pocket or make us own everything. It truly is possible. So you can see from this paper pad, it's very bright. It's flamingos. I love flamingos. I think they're just so adorable. I just think they're cute. So I had to have it. There's always something that catches my eye in the paper pad, and the flamingos were it. So I chose a couple backgrounds. I chose, of course, this border. And I also cut one of the squares with the sentiment that says, "Be bright." If you do go for a pair of scissors, now it doesn't have to be these Tim Holtz. I also have these too, and I love them just as much. But what I like about the Tim Holtz or a pair of scissors is you can open them wide. Because if you do one slice, you will go in a straight line, unless you turn the paper. The pink ones, they don't open up all the way, but they open up pretty far. So something if you want to look forward to or towards. So I'm going to use my ruler, and now remember, this is double-sided, and I'm just going to mark a line, and then I'm going to cut down that line with my scissors. Now remember, I showed a paper trimmer before. Now that was the Fiskars 9-inch. What I liked about that paper trimmer is, one, it's perfect for me and my sentiments because I cannot cut them straight. It's horrible. And it's got the wire guide. Now, I've never had a problem with the wire guide. I have 2 of the Fiskars with that. I've never had my wire guide snap. And I've had them for an extremely long time. But that 9-inch Fiskars, a coupon at your local craft, I will link to a couple places down below if you're interested. But that's really the only one that you need. Yes, you do have to replace the blades. But I replace my blades maybe once every 3 months. Because again, I do have my guillotine. Now, if you're using it more, you may have to replace them every month. So you can see we've cut down the one panel with all the watercolored dots. I have my flamingos going along the bottom. And then I have my Be Bright flamingo cut out. Now I'm going to look for another piece of paper because I want to back it. I just want it to have a border. So that's the great thing too, just using a paper pad, because it will force you to layer your papers. Sometimes with all of the, and don't get me wrong, they are wonderful gadgets and I cannot live without them. But sometimes it is just nice to create with basics. It kind of clears your head. I either do this. I really like these episodes because they do clear my head. I also like to art journal, just create backgrounds. That tends to clear my head. And I use those on my cards too. So again, you can use the paper pad itself to create your border. So here's one with a sentiment on it, but I'm going to cover it up. I'm not using dies. I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that piece down so that I can get, now I got a lot of trimmings over there, but at least I know that I'm going to have that strange little border that I wanted of the 2 greens. So I'm going to set that in place. And now that the flamingo will be able to be seen off of that panel. I just thought it was getting lost. Even though it was white, it could kind of get lost unless it's framed. At least to my eye. Your eye may be different. That's what makes creativity wonderful. I've glued down my one panel. I'm now going to grab my glue again, and I'm going to set my flamingo line in place. And I'm going to make that even with the first border that we put down. And then I'm going to use my foam squares to prop my piece up. Now, you don't have to use foam squares. Again, to keep it simple, just keep using your liquid glue. That would be fine. You can use pieces of paper. I know I have stated this before in a previous episode. You could just cut pieces of paper and pile them on top. They could be used as foam squares. So you do have the options to do the same thing that we do with what you have and what you have in your craft area, whatever that may be. And if you do want to get some of this stuff, like these paper pads, they're $5.99. Sometimes, and a lot of times, they go on sale for 30 or 40% off. Or if you have a coupon for 40% off, whether it's AC Moore's or Michael's. I believe Hobby Lobby does it as well. So whichever one's close to you. So let's move on to our second card. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab my ruler. Now I do have a craft mat that's below me. If you don't, then let's say if you want your border to be 2 inches, just measure 2 inches from the edge and then connect the dots and then cut along that line. I'm going to use my scissors. I made sure that when I cut this panel, I cut it so my flamingos were standing up. Go ahead, ask me how I know. I forgot. They were kind of going sideways. It just wasn't looking right. So we need to make sure that our pattern paper is going in the direction that we want. So always check before you cut. I've grabbed some of those borders and I'm going to place that in behind my flamingos there. And that's pretty much what's going to be my bottom panel. And again, I'm working directly on my card bases too. So it's not like, now you can grab one of those pattern papers, cut a 4" by 5 1/4 and build everything off of that. I'm going directly onto my card base because I can fill that in. But you do have that choice. You don't have to, go directly onto your card base like I am. I just tend to like that when it comes to the pattern papers because you're already adding so much color to it. I'm going to trim off this edge that's overhanging, and I'm going to do that to the other side as well. I've grabbed my ink pad. Now, I do like VersaFine ink, but again, the archival inks are just as nice. I do like the archival inks. I do have the black. I do have potting soil. I don't have sepia. I like the potting soil color. I grabbed one of those sentiments from the Hero Art set that I have, and it states simply, sending you sunshine and laughter. I always have a problem with that word. And that's our card. I think it's great. I think anybody who needs a smile would absolutely love this, and they would definitely smile. So to keep it simple, these are the items that you would need. Scissors, 1 pair, don't need both. Pattern paper, sentiment stamps. Those 2 cover everything. You wouldn't have to buy another one. A ruler, pencil, and of course your ink and the acrylic block. I keep forgetting to show the acrylic block. So this is the next series in simplicity. So when we get into episode 8, I'm going to start showing some different things just using those items. Because again, I can't state it enough. We can create beautiful cards with what we have. It can be done, I promise. So I hope you stay tuned for episode number 8, and I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, oh please, make sure you do so. I'd love to have you part of my group. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I do try to answer all the comments. I do apologize. I've been away for a little bit. My goodness, it's been almost 5 days. But I did need to take just a little bit of a break and spend some time with my husband. I think he was forgetting what I was looking like. But I did miss you all, and I am back. So the videos are going to start coming out again. I hope everyone's having a great 4th. That's when I'm doing this. I hear all kinds of fireworks. My cat is loving that. And I hope you are enjoying your holiday if you do celebrate this holiday. If not, I still hope your day is going wonderful and fantastic. But always remember, everyone, what is most important to me, each and every day, always be creative.